Welcome back, NicknLex here. Thank you so much for joining me to another episode of Music with Nick. Today we got some amazing tunes lined up. Well, I haven't heard them, but I know they're going to be amazing. They're going to be from the band JETHRO TULL or JETHRO TULL. I looked it up how to pronounce it, and I know it's a J, but you say a G, like JETHRO Tull. And the reason I mispronounced this various times in the first video is because in Germany, you basically the J you basically it's pronounced like a yacht, like yet, like yet. Like for example, I remember when I was in Germany watching Star Wars, we would say Jedi Ritter, Jedi Knights, you know, Jedi. So that's the way you pronounce the J. So and then in Germany, in Mexico, for example, I also speak Spanish. Is for example, this marathon is requested and sponsored by Jose Pomales, which in Spanish would be Jose Pomales. You see how it changes? So with all these languages, sometimes, you know, it's a lot of fun to know these languages, but it's also very sometimes difficult to be. So I just say stuff the way I think it should sound. So sorry, you know, if I called your band the wrong name or something, but I know it's JETHRO Tull or Jethro, because I looked it up. It's like Je and then throw. They literally say throw and then Tull. So we're gonna do these but you see, that's why I make these mistakes. I wish I would know all the pronunciations. Like, I know if somebody would come up and say, hey, do you like Iron Maiden? I would be like, it's Iron Maiden, you know? So I know. So today we're gonna do this marathon for Jose Pomales. And Jose, as you would say, Jose Pomales, and the original form to say this name. Like, we're doing, let's see, there's a list. So we're gonna start with, oh yes, we're gonna do Hunting Girl. I said yes because I love this song so much. Songs from the Wood, the song from the Wood. I did that for Murdoch the other day, and I was just blown away with the song. Then we're gonna do Hunting Girl. This is let's see, 1977. Then we're gonna jump to the Rover. This is from Heavy Horses, 1978. Okay. And then we're gonna do North Sea Oil from the album Stormwatch. This is 1979. I love that we're going, like, you know, in order of release. Then we're gonna do Black Sunday from the album A. This is 1980. Cool that they just called it A. And then we're gonna do Roots to Branches, and this is from the very best of JETHRO. See, now I can say it, JETHRO Tull, and this was released in 2000. So I'm sure it's somewhere, but that's the one that came up. So sometimes there's only compilations of records of songs. All right, so but I'm sure it's like maybe 81 or something. Let's see, let's just look it up. I mean, we're already here. Roots to Branches. What year is this? Oh, okay, this is actually newer. Roots to Branches, 1995. Okay, cool. Some 90s Tull here. Let's see. Huh? Yeah, cool. The 19th studio album. Wow, that's crazy. All right, well, I've done all my reading. Now let's do the listening. The listening part I can do without the glasses. Is actually, it's just getting like worse. Just like very close, you know, like computer is like almost impossible to read. I can see very well, like far. Yesterday we went on a hike and I could see like thousands of meters in the distance. I could see people walking. But when something is near to me, not so good. Well, you know, I'm gonna get used to it. I'm gonna stop talking about it, I guess, in another 20 videos. I'm just kidding. Okay, so here we go. So let's start off. Thank you so much, Jose, for this request for this marathon. We're gonna have a lot of fun here. And yeah, you know, let me know what you think of these songs. I'm really a fan. I mean, I'm really a fan. I wasn't so much a fan of the first. We did a full album of Benefit, and it just didn't click with me, you know. But now that I've done the other marathon, then we did, you know, oh, My God, we did it. I did that one also live. I reacted to the live. That was so much fun. And yes, he's not the most technical player, but that's all like bull crap, because that's not what's important. It's the show. It's the show he puts on. He makes you feel, yes, you know. He doesn't have to be like Paganini on the flute. I don't think I don't want to see Ian that way. He had just like, I think, only began to play like 3 years prior, which is insane, you know, to being that good already, because there are a lot of people like saying, oh, he's not that good. That's bull, you know. I'm sorry, but we shouldn't judge composers, you know. They play multiple instruments as, oh, he's not that good on a flute. I don't think that matters at all. He brings to the table what's necessary, and he's a great showman, and that was what blew me away. So I must disagree with people criticizing his playing. And then, you know, sometimes people criticize players and they don't even play one single instrument. So, you know, guys, just keep it civil. I don't think that's fair to criticize, you know, great composers and musicians when you don't even play a single note on yourself, right? Okay. All right, so enough with the intro. Let's go with the music. Here is Hunting Girl, and here we go. Thank you so much for being here. Let me just check one thing, because I do mess around with this a lot, because when we play guitar, Alexia and I, or we sing, we sometimes switch it to the speakers, but now we will be able to hear the music from here. Perfect. So let's go, and you guys have fun, enjoy. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Let's just have a little bit of fun here. So here we go. We go, Hunting Girl. Very good.
One day I walked the roads and crossed the field to go by where the hounds ran hard. And on the mud a race behind the hunter's trace to where the mouth was barred. One fine young lady, it's hard to refuse the fence to clear. I unlocked the gate, but she did wait until the pack had disappeared. Crop and look
sounds so good. Oh my god. Like the whole it's really proggy. Like I love that they're so progressive, but it still sounds very soft. It doesn't sound so, I don't know, man. It just sounds great. Like the bass. I'm sure, like I've said this many times, but I'm sure Steve Harris from Iron Maiden, he must be inspired or influenced by Jethro Tull, because, man, and they did play a cover, you know, on their Peace of Mind B-side. They played Cross-Eyed Mary. That song is we have a reaction video on the channel with Alexia, and it's like Nico McBrain, the drummer, Iron Maiden's drummer, said that's the best song I've ever played. You know, I love that because it is really good, and it's such a great band. How everything comes together. You know, it sounds so nice, like Renaissance. It has this baroqueness to it. You know, it sounds very also some a little bit of like Celtic. You know, it has like this really great vibe, like this like the album says, songs from the wood. You know, it's almost like they're in the like somewhere in the woods and playing, you know, to animals, and you know, like Lord of the Rings. I don't know, like it just sounds so good. Yeah, let's just keep going. Otherwise this video is gonna take an hour to get through, because we're already at like almost 20 minutes, because the intro, I like to talk, I guess. I'm not that, you know, I don't talk that much, but I guess in the videos I do like to talk about various things like pronunciation and crap that doesn't really matter, but it is important, you know. Okay, let's go back to the song. So effective, because the bass drum is bass, and the guitar, and everybody's like, and sing those breaks. It's so cool, the syncopation here.
My lady beat the streets, I must get to my beats and go back to the farm. What I appreciate, you wanna deviate, I might not do some harm. I'm not inclined to act refined, if that's how it goes. Oh, high-born hunting girl, I'm just a normal local so-and-so.
Fantastic, freaking fantastic. I love this band. They're so good. I mean, I'm just like so happy that we're listening to so much good music. And I don't worry, guys, like I'm like showing everything you guys request to Alexia. Like I literally religiously play it to her. I'm like, are you gonna go on a walk? Okay, please listen to those 4 songs. And then she really listens, you know. She's not just like no, she really like takes them in, you know. Okay, so now we're gonna go with the Rover. So this was so yeah, a year later, the Rover from Heavy Horses. Let's go.
every footstep, and I follow every wind. When you call a tune, I'm ready to strike up the battle here. My lady of the meadows, my comer on the beach. You've thrown the stick beyond all the street, but it's floating out of reach. The long road is a rainbow, and the pot of gold lies there. So slip the chain and I'm on foot again. You'll find me everywhere, 'cause I'm a rover. As the robin craves the summer to hide a smoke of red, I need the pillow of your head in which to hide my head. I'm simple in my sadness, resourceful in remorse, and I'm down straining at the lead, holding on the windward course. The long road is a rainbow, and the pot of gold lies there. So slip the chain and I'm over again. You'll find me everywhere, 'cause I'm a rover.
Wow, man, it's so good. I mean, musically, it's so rich. The interplay is so good. Oh Lord, so good. Like literally, they do everything. It's like, oh man. I mean, there's a lot of. That's just one thing, the guitar, and then they have like their. Like that kind of stuff going on, and then they have like this palm muting. Like I don't know what they're playing right now, but and then like that's just the rhythm section. Then I mean they have their stuff like that kind of stuff going on, and then below all this. Like, you know, that kind of stuff, like the whole melodic minor thing. Like, it's like, what the hell? And the bass goes with it, and the drum go with it, and it's just perfect, man. Man, who comes up with music like that? I mean, there's a lot of bands, but it's just the interplay is so rich. It's like, it's acoustic guitars, it's electric guitars, it's like heavy, very acoustic, the flute's very classical. It's just a great combination of styles that they just master together. And that's why you're a fan, basically. That's why I'm a fan. You know, I mean, it's like ridiculous, you know, it's so good. I mean, there's bands who just do one thing that I was just doing, like they just strum the guitar and sing. And that's great, you know, but when it comes together like this, with this fusion, it's just so rich, you know, it's like, and it's just like, wow, you just want to like take everything apart and just listen to it. But yeah, I guess you can. But okay, let's continue. Enough of me.
From the bundle of balloons at every fair, colorful and carefree, they're designed to make you stare. But I'm lost and I'm losing You find me everywhere, 'cause I'm a rover.
So good. And also his voice is really growing on me. Like I literally, like I did have problems at the beginning with like Ian Anderson's voice. I don't know why. I guess because I was so into like John Anderson's voice or Geddy Lee, you know, like more high pitched, and also, or maybe more like just like very soft spoken Peter, you know, Peter Gabriel, or just like the bands that I heard, that I listened to before doing this whole channel, was more like Symphony X, and as you know, like I'm a huge Maiden fan, Judas Priest. Even though I don't know the 70s stuff, I want to explore more. I don't feel that there's a lot of like Judas Priest fans on the, like, subscribe to the channel. It's more like before, you know, which is also like, I hope I get to do, I can do it myself, but it would be fun to do like a Judas Priest marathon, but an early Priest, you know. But I guess they're too like near to the 80s. I get more like requests from like Thin Lizzy, and so I think they're more influential to people, you know, Blue Oyster Cult and stuff like that. But we'll see. So I had a little bit of a problem at first. Not that he's not good. He's a great singer, but just the tone of his voice was just like, it didn't hit me. It's like when your vocalist, like when your favorite band like changes vocalists, you're like, I don't know, you know, I don't really feel it anymore. But that happened to me at the beginning with them, with Tull here. But now he's growing on me. I really like his raspy kind of like, it's not so much a theatricality. It's more like, you know, this is what you get. Take it. You know, it's not so much about, oh, you know, that kind of stuff. So, because you don't have to do that in every song. Okay, now we're going to listen to North Sea Oil. This is a shorter song, so let's go. Figure out his technique, like, and then I love that the guitar player uses a lot of this palm muting stuff, like you know, instead of like just playing it, no, he's like giving it like this accent. And then Ian with the flute is like, and he always like this, of course, like because it's a flute. Like that was something I guess he would do. Like I still have to study like what scales he uses, because it does sound just like what he wants to do. It's like a specific scale he uses very often, but I don't know. I still don't know what he's doing. Man, so good. I think it's like like. I don't know. It's so, but I love that he's like a lot. He does this. And then I know that they recorded this. Yeah, I have to study that one, but it's very easy. It's like if you don't play the bass, it's. Something like that, but yeah, I know I've heard that because that's like one of the most famous interpretations of Bach's Bourrée. So okay, so let's go with Black Sunday. I swear I'm not gonna grab the guitar anymore. So, okay, we're already 30 minutes in. I know you guys wanna keep watching the music. So this is Black Sunday from the album A. Here we go. Okay.
and sad eyes passing in windows flimsy, and my seat rocking from legs not quite matching. Got passport, credit cards, a plane that I'm catching. Black Sunday falls one day too soon. The taxi that takes me will be moving so quickly. My suitcase is simply too full for the clothing. A pants, shirts, and kisses all packed in a hurry. Two best-selling paperbacks, chosen at random. No sign of salesperson to whom I might have them. Like Sunday falls one day too soon. Down at the airport, I'm probably waiting. A few thousand passengers, overbooked seating. Time lump suspended in transit lounge traumas. Connections broken and speckled brands watching, conspicuously standing in holiday clothing. Like Sunday for one day too soon.
Wow. Wow, this is like seriously different. Very, very like I mean, it's now in the 80s. They sound a lot more progressive. It's just like you know, it sounds almost like Kansas, which is one of my favorite bands that I haven't heard fully. The thing is, like, I already said this lots of times, but if you're new to the channel, so basically my dad bought like he's like a music freak, right? So he just had like this Kansas CD, and I was like a guitar freak, of course. I've always been, and I still love him today. Yngwie Malmsteen, however you say his name. I say Yngwie Malmsteen. It's like the European way, I guess. And he played "Carry On, Wayward Son" on an inspiration, like a compilation of inspiration songs, and there was Rush on there, and Rainbow, and Deep Purple, and I had no idea. I just thought it was covers, but I didn't really pay a lot of attention where the covers were from. It's just like old music for me, you know, from my teenage mind. And he played "Carry On, Wayward Son," and I was like, well, that's pretty cool. And okay, then I kind of like forgot about the CD, right? So, and then one day I was like, I looked at the best of Kansas, and they were the opener was "Carry On, Wayward Son." I was like, holy shit, that's the same song that Yngwie Malmsteen plays. What the hell? Oh, that's Kansas. Okay, cool. And then throughout the years, I was like, oh, cool. This is Deep Purple and this is Rainbow. But I really didn't go into these bands. I would not go like take the deep dive. I was so much into like Symphony X and Dream Theater and other stuff, you know, Spastic Inc. and all this crazy stuff. And so I was like, okay, they're like just from the past. Let's move on. And now I'm getting back, and I discover all this gold, you know, like them and Rush. And so the point I was making, what was my point about Kansas? Oh yeah, that basically I would then only listen to that album, you know, the best of Kansas, because it was impossible to buy like just their discography. It was just not available in Mexico, you know, in like a little town like that. So now it's a band that I love, but I've only heard like 15 songs, you know. So it's kind of I do have the entire discography thanks to Tony here, but we haven't had the time to cover them. But I would really love to go into like deep dive in the Kansas and just like take him apart and just listen to everything. So let's see, maybe the end of the year or next year we can do that, you know, like just like we did with Steely Dan. We just went in full blast and did only Steely Dan videos. And so okay, let's continue. So I just wanted to explain that to you.
Pick up my feet and kick up my lethargy down to the gate. Get out and chase the small immortality, born in the minute of my next returning, impatient feet tapping and cigarette burning. I'm coming one day too soon. Back at the house, there's a gray sky a-tumbling, milk bottles piling on doorsteps a-crumbling, curtains all drawn and cold water plumbing, no paper strips for me unbelieving, saying how sorry, how sad was the leaving. One day too soon, tomorrow is the one day I was changed for a Monday, with freezing rain stuck in the nose, trains running, and sad eyes passing in windows flimsy, and my seat rocking from legs not quite matching the passport credit cards, a plane that I'm catching, that Sunday fell one day too soon.
Wow. Yeah, I can hear now that why they're considered also okay, don't kill me, okay? Guys, you get way too passionate about your bands, but I'm the same, you know. I would get into fights. Like don't mess with my music, man, you know. It's so funny. But when they won against Metallica, the best metal song, I can see it, you know, why they consider them metal. I mean, they're heavier here, they're using more distortion, they're using more guitar solos. It's just evolving into like this progressive rock, you know, instead of more like an acoustic band with a lot of acoustic guitar. They're more you could hear that that palm muting here. And I know I wasn't gonna grab the guitar, but you could hear like. Well, maybe they weren't doing like that, but. Man, that's so good. So good. I'm gonna send this song immediately to one of my best friends. I'm gonna send it to Alexia. And now, okay, this was 80s Tull. I'm literally scared to say Jethro. Oh, God damn it, it's so difficult to pronounce, man. That's the only band I struggle with. I'm just gonna call it Tull. And don't put in the comment section how to. I already looked it up. Like I literally looked it up here. If I could just film it, I have it all on Google, like how to pronounce the band. So that's what you guys do. So roads. So this is roots to branches, and this is the first time I'm gonna literally listen to Jethro Tull from the 90s. So this is 1995. Let's see what they came up with. Let's go.
Words get written, words get twisted, old meanings move in the drift of time. Lift the flickering torches, see candle shadows change the features of the faces cut in unmoving stone. Bad mouth on a bread day, hope no one's listening. Roots down in the wet clay, branches glistening. True disciples carrying that message to color just a little with a personal touch. Homespun fancy weavers, naked half believers, crusades and creeds descend like fiery flakes of snow. Bad mouth on a prayer day, hope no one's listening. Roots down in the wet clay, branches glistening. Roots to branches, roots to branches, roots to branches. Wet and windy priest holes, grand and vast cathedrals, high on lofty minarets or in the temples of doom. I hope the old man's got his face on. He'd better be some quick change artist. Suffer little children to make their minds up soon. Bad mouth on a prayer day, hope no one's listening. Roots down in the wet clay, branches glistening. Roots to branches, roots to branches, roots to branches.
Very good. So here you can obviously, I mean, it has been 15 years since the 80s, you know, since what I've heard before. But what I love about this is they didn't change, or they didn't change like Yes did. Like, you know, when you listen to their 70s stuff and their 90s stuff, it's a totally different sound that is very, I don't know. Like I remember when we started out with Yes, the only song I'd heard was Owner of a Lonely Heart, which is super sad because that's the one that has the most freaking you know, radio time, and it's just it's not even that good. It's catchy, but it's not Yes. You can't justify that as Yes. It's a good song, but it could be like just a song that they came up with. It does not say this is Yes. It's just, I mean, for a Yes fan, you know. But and also, like, for example, when you listen to 90s Rush, they're very different. 90s Genesis, very commercial, like, you know, Phil Collins made it very popish and stuff. They still sound like they sounded in the 80s. I mean, it sounds almost like this one was very like almost like Middle Eastern inspired, you know, the scales and stuff. It sounded very like from there, but you can hear that he's more proficient on the instrument, of course, and maybe a little bit more rock oriented, not that progressive. But a great song. I mean, it's not my favorite that I've heard. I think Black Sunday took the cake of all of these songs. But I love that they didn't become like this, you know, this pop band that a lot of bands became, you know, in that genre. Because they were like, well, we're not selling any records. We have to go with the times. But I love that some bands said, you know, no, screw that. We're going to continue on our path. Like Iron Maiden, they were playing British wave of heavy metal, you know, I mean, or like, yeah, I call it heavy metal. And then in the 90s, I remember when I started to listen to them in like 97 or so, and they came out with the X Factor. I think not, or maybe I started to listen to it a little bit earlier, like 94, and then they came out with the X Factor. It still sounded much like Iron Maiden with a different vocalist, like that, you know, that example that I used. But at least they didn't change their sound. I mean, everybody wanted to sound a little bit like the grunge era, but yeah, that was a mistake. So, but overall, thank you so much, guys. What did you think about these tunes? What did you think about, you know, Jethro Tull's evolution as a band? Do you still listen to them? Do you prefer the 70s stuff from the 80s stuff or the 90s stuff? Let me know what you think. You know, how many times have you seen them in concert? Let's get a discussion going. If you like the video, you know, you can subscribe. We have hundreds and hundreds of videos of classic rock, prog rock, jazz fusion, me playing the guitar, being funny, Alexia and I just, you know, bouncing off each other. Yeah, so if you like the channel, give us a thumbs up. If you don't like the channel, you know, thumbs down, whatever makes you happy, you know. If you're in a bad mood, you can dislike the video. It's all good. So thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you, Jose, for the marathon. Take care.